Hey everybody, it's been a while. We just got back from a trip to Tahoe, which was what it was, traveling with children. Um, anyway, so I've been doing this adrenal detox, for like a couple weeks now, and I have these other pills that are listed for prostate, but they're supposed to help. I don't know if it's like the digestive system. It's supposed to have nettles or something in it. Anyways, I am not a person who has all the information in front of me while I'm doing this TikTok, so I apologize. I will come back to that and let you know. But anyways, I'm taking like a detox for adrenals and another medication or a supplement for urinary support, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, it's kind of like a detox stuff before I get to the estrogen stuff to help the estrogen. I think this other medication is supposed to help this testosterone, perhaps the other supplement I'm taking for the nettles. Not sure, but my issues are adrenals, testosterone, estrogen, and maybe sleep. I will be doing a sleep study through Kaiser starting tomorrow. But I just wanted to give you an update on how it's been going, and they wanted me to take work from 1 to 2, work my way up to 2 of the detox for the adrenals and 2 for the other one. And I have a very sensitive body, and I had packed for the trip for 1 of each, which I should have stayed with. Just 1 of each. But then I was like, okay, I'll do the 2. And then by the end of the week, I was just like, zombie, and ran out of my pills. So I just skipped, and then I got home from my trip on Saturday and decided I'll take the first 2 and then wait and take the next 2. And silly enough, I did 1 detox and 1 of the testosterone or nettle supplement, and then fell asleep because I got really groggy. So I have a body that just like really easy to get hit with things. I mean, I have a story of like one time I was at a park with my sister and a friend, and I was hanging out with the guys because we do this thing called Sunday Fun Day. This was like almost 20 years ago. I came across the girls. I was like, what are you guys doing? I was like, oh, we bought some truffles. I thought they went and bought chocolates at some, store or something. It's like apparently in San Francisco, there's a guy with a brass pot who's doing pot truffles. But I had no idea. So my sister had a whole one. My friend had half of one. I said, let me try it. I had the other half of hers. And who do you think got hit first? Who do you think it affected first? Me, the last person to have it. Because my body's like that. And I wonder if people should study that, because I wonder if people who have ADHD or anxiety or vagus nerves issues or nervous system issues or everything maybe we're just more susceptible to that shit. Maybe that's why I never really got into drugs, because I also can't stand the smell of drugs. I can't stand the smell of pot. My taste buds are stronger than others. Some people like a lot of garlic. I'm like, and I also have IBS. So there's like everything in me is like, I don't know, designed for the senses and the chakras that are going, cannot process, too strong. So I was feeling like crap. I took it Saturday. Sunday, I slept till like noon. Today, I didn't take anything yesterday, but I still had a hard time getting out of bed this morning. And on top of that, I was already having a hard time getting out of bed. The whole reason I did the retest for the Dutch test was because ever since last December, like getting up, getting out of bed, going to work, having energy to do stuff was like worse than it was before, because I'm pretty sure I'm close to perimenopause. But then I take this detox stuff and I'm like, ugh. Perhaps that's why people stop doing detoxes, because they make them feel worse. Some of us are like, why am I doing this? But I will go back again and go back to 1 of each. And then I'm talking to this doctor on Wednesday. And then I guess my next step is to figure out, like, when do I get to start, like, the help for the estrogen and stuff and other stuff. Kind of like building stuff up. Because detox is tough. Anyway. A couple healthy habits I'm starting to cultivate, but are hard because with ADHD, it's hard to have the healthy habits every day. So I try to tell myself to do it every other day, or at least a couple times a week. I'm doing a morning drink, which I've had a yoga teacher talk to me about previously, but I've never really tried. You know, you do the lemon juice with the apple cider vinegar, and you could add cayenne and ginger and cinnamon. I'm keeping that at the low. Like I'm barely doing like a fourth or like a little bit of it because again, my body's very sensitive. I remember the first time I did it, I had to drink that very slowly. Um, I remember the first time I drank it though, the next day I've had so much energy. And then it kind of dissipated. So there's something about me with alkalining my body. There's something with me about having a muscle issue because I'm always weak and tired and not very strong. And then when I was on my trip on Friday, I had just started my menstrual cycle on Thursday, the day before. I went to get a 2-hour massage. The guy was so good that I had so much energy. I went home and had sex with my husband, which I normally don't do on my period. But anyway, the whole point wasn't to gross you out. The point was to say that it's crazy how that's the second time in my life I've had a man who massaged me to the point where my energy, like my fatigue was gone. My weakness felt like it was gone. My focus, like everything was like boom. I'm really like in my body and I'm really feeling much better. So I don't know if I have a circulation issue or a muscle issue or both, but there's stuff that's stagnant, and maybe it's energy wise, maybe it's actually stuff going on with the body too that's causing poor energy. I mean, the Dutch test was talking about how I have issues with processing and I just store things, and so I don't know, but I am eating better. I mean, I started to buy more things with fiber, like chia seeds and flax seeds and stuff to like eat every other day in the morning to just kind of help me with fiber for movements and stuff. I'm trying to eat more protein. I did have a slice or two of pizza yesterday, but I'm honestly hardly touching sugar. Unless my daughter has ice cream and then she's like, I need you to lick this because I can't finish it. But I'm like, I had a little bit of that and I was like, ugh, no. Trying to do more like fruit-based popsicles, more savory food. I notice I like dates now because dates are very hydrating and I always feel dehydrated. That's another issue of mine, feeling dehydrated, drinking water, feeling dehydrated. We were in Tahoe and I think Tahoe is like the worst place to be if you have issues with dehydration, if you have issues with feeling easily tired and stuff, because it's usually pretty hot, it's usually pretty like dehydrating, and it makes you very gassy. Oh, you know, gassy, but I was having issues with bowel movements, which I already did have. So, you know, I don't know, a perimenopausal person and going to places that mess with your digestion already and feeling hydrated, no fun. So yeah, we're just a couple weeks out before we get to back to school, and I'm just gonna try this detox and try to get better, and hopefully next month I can start some new supplements that'll help, because I want to start feeling better. And I gotta do with 2 kids at the same school, which can be great, but they're also like, you have to be in the same car and fighting and stuff. Anyway, because that was fun during the trip. One kid wanting to like, no, I don't want to go, make a stop because I want to keep going. And the other kid's like, I need to stop, I'm going to go crazy. So, yeah. Anyway. That's about it. I mean, I might make a post about when I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, but I feel like I need to see it again because so many people loved it and my initial reaction was I did not love it. So, you know. Anyway, a lot of spoilers on Facebook about Avenger movies and things coming up. Anyway, so my energy's trying to get better. All right, talk to you soon.